is a new prism pool, but it does require for us to do some gear ascension. So we need to see, can we actually make our way down into these dungeons? Hey you guys, it's Cece. Welcome back to my channel. For today, as I said, I want to take you guys down into a dungeon, and the reason for that is there is going to be a gear ascension tournament happening, which does include clearing Sand Devil and Phantom Shogun to earn tournament points and get rewards, which, as you see, has that magic prism crystal in it. I've mentioned to you guys, I always want to try to pull for this because I want to always try to get the legendary from it, and there are some really good legendaries in here. This rotation is the supporters summon pool, which includes some amazing champions, including Glycad of the Meltwater, who I actually had tried to get at some point when it was a ×10 chance. It didn't happen. Same thing with Grand Oak, tried to get you at some point, also didn't happen. So some really amazing champs in here, also including Duchess. Honestly, you guys, I really would not mind any of these. They would all essentially be new for me, except for Fabian here. I fused you. I've got you. This is really the only champ I wouldn't want if I could pick. Really want one of the other ones. In terms of the epic, there are also some other good ones. We see a familiar face here, Mausoleum Mage. Remember, you guys can actually get him by using my link. Level 30 is where you're going to get this champ. So there's other ones in here who are good. I don't have, including Deacon Armstrong. I don't have you. I wouldn't mind getting this champ. A few others as well who I don't have. Mordecai, you look pretty cool too. But as I said, it's a supporters one. It's a good one. I would like to pull. I would like to hopefully get one of these legendary champs. But the only thing stopping me is I haven't really done these dungeons that I need to do to get the points. So I, of course, am going to try to see how far down we can actually get for this. So comparing the two, for Sand Devil, this one I am on stage 15. We may attempt 16 as well. The team that I was currently using, kind of playing around with, was this team. However, now I do have Godseeker Aniri, and I think I've got gear on her. I recently took gear off, so we'll have to go ahead and take a look and see if I have thrown stuff back onto her. Perfect. However, she's not 60 yet. She needs to be level 60. We need to go ahead, throw that up for her, and maybe throw on some accessories as well. But she is one who is really good in Sand Devil, so she's one that we should probably take along in there. But the other one that I really have not started yet at all is the Phantom Shogun. I'm actually on stage 1 for this. I haven't even attempted to try to tackle this. So that's where we're going to start. In terms of my team, I'm always going to bring along some of my core start, which does include Siphi, includes He-Man, and typically it's going to include Whisper, especially with dungeons for that damage. I'm kind of playing around with the last 2 slots that I have here and what's going on, bringing along a Thorion because I think that's going to be very useful. And then for my last support, for now, I do have Rector Drath, another very good epic. So this is the team that I am kind of going to work with. We will see how they do, and potentially who I want to swap out or need to swap out here. I think it's got a nice enough balance for it, but it's just about time that I actually try to tackle this because, as I said, I have not attempted it at all. And I've kind of been playing around and building different champs as I get them. Part of why Godseeker Aniri is not fully built yet. And I know there is a Sand Devil team with her. I know one includes Ninja in her. Now, I don't have Ninja, so that's not going to be an option. We'll have to see what else we can possibly do. And honestly, it looks like right now this team is actually taking care of this. So the question is, how far down am I going to be able to go? And when does it really get tricky? Because I notice with all dungeons, there's that choke point where going smooth and then suddenly I like hit a wall and I can't keep going. So for now, they're doing what they need to do, which is good. I love seeing that perfect veil though. That's kind of floating around on the champs. Very helpful when it comes to something like this. I am really hoping I'm going to be able to actually get the magic prism crystal to be able to do the pull. And I did one time let it auto pull where I did get a legendary. I actually asked you guys, do you let it auto pull? Do you prefer pulling? But my question is, are you going to try to pull for this rotation? And if so, who are you interested in actually getting from there? Do you have a top champ that you would want? If so, I hope you guys get it, but comment down below who that actually is. It looks like right now we are making our way through this without any hiccups, but it's still early. Still those early stages. So we will kind of see where I may need to change things up here. We are on stage 4, so oh my goodness, far ways to go to 25. All right, let's let this keep rolling and see how they do until we get to that point where maybe I need to actually swap some champs out. I did decide to actually do a swap for now. I swapped out Uugo instead of Rector Drath, and part of that is I want the leech, but also the defense break, because I know ideally there is kind of an approach to going up against this boss in terms of getting a defense break and then getting some of your strong attackers to go. If you're able to do any type of a cleanse, that's something else that I am kind of missing. So now I am playing around a little bit with my champs to see who kind of fills this role best and where can I kind of get a lot of my damage from. So playing around as I go, and for now I do think Uugo is kind of fitting in here, but watching it as I'm getting deeper and deeper, I am thinking that what I'm kind of missing in terms of these champs is some type of a cleanse in here. Of course, Cece does fill a great role. We have a revive in here as well as a blocking debuffs on allies and filling a turn meter. So, and her passive, of course, having a bit of a heal in there and removing a freeze or a fear. That's of course not fully helping because I really need a deeper cleanse than what right now I'm getting from this champ. So that's something that I might also kind of play around with, because I mean, if we're not able to kind of clear that off, I could see where this is going to get tricky. But I do think the defense break is something that's very helpful, especially when I have my attacking units like Whisper, you just saw, doing quite a bit of damage in here. So that's kind of my step now, watching my team and seeing where I can make improvements. I have made it down to 13, but towards the end, it was actually kind of dicey there. Cece did have to revive twice. So I really think what I'm missing in here now is going to be a cleanse. And ideally, I want to get somebody on a 3-turn cleanse. So thinking of the champs I have and who can fill that role well, I am thinking of one very specific champion. I do have her. I don't have her built yet, and that is Reliquary Tender. She is a phenomenal champ, really because of this skill. It removes all debuffs from all allies and places a 15% continuous heal buff on them for 2 turns. Once she's booked, it does bring this down to a 3-turn cooldown, and she's a rare, so it is easy to book. She does also have a revive in here as well in case I do need that backup, and we're still getting a bit of a decreased attack debuff on there. But I think her main role is really going to be her skill 2. So this is a champ I think I'm definitely missing and I need to build out for Phantom Shogun. So thankfully, I've got her since she is a void, but at least she's a rare, so it is one that's easy to book. And I mean, at least I've been able to pull her as a rare, so one that's a little easier than having to rely on like a void epic or potentially a different legendary. Now, there's some other good clearing champs, but I think for what I've got on my account, that is the one that I'm gonna have to build and see if I can potentially get down further in here. But at least I did manage to get down to 13 considering I started at 1. Next up is going to be Sand Devil. So as I said, I got to stage 15 here. We will attempt 16 and really see how this goes. I think I will need to get my Godseeker Iniri ready, and we got wiped out immediately. We immediately wiped. I'm sorry, but that's hilarious. Well, I guess 15 it is. I think this is one that I might not be able to push yet until I really do get all my champs ready for it and figure out what team I really want to use. Honestly, you guys, I thought I would at least survive a couple seconds. That was insanity. At least a 15 I could do. I think that's where I'm gonna have to call it quits for this. I guess maybe even that was a fluke. This team fully needs a revisit before I can see what'll happen. Thank goodness for the revives, because at least it wasn't a full team wipe. We're good. We're all back up. But yeah, there is a reason that I kind of didn't push myself into these dungeons yet. Now I feel like I kind of need to a little more with getting better gear, of course, and then trying to get this Prism Crystal, which we'll see how many points I can actually get from everything. But I'll attempt it, and I don't know, maybe I will be able to push further from here. But I do think like these are some of those dungeons that people probably don't get into immediately, and it takes a bit of time because these bosses hit hard. So I think my goal, as I said, this is the stage that I will attempt to farm. And then in terms of my Phantom Shogun, I'm gonna have to get that rare built so that I do get that cleanse, and I do think she is a great champ to use there. So I'm happy enough that I made some progress in there today. I can kind of see where my weak points are, what I need to work on, but at the end of the day, progress is progress, and we'll see. Hopefully I get enough points so I'm able to do a pull. If I do, of course, I will be sure to include that in a video for you guys. If you download Raid Shadow Legends using my link, I'm actually going to start you off with the free legendary champion on day 1. And then at level 10, level 20, and level 30, you'll get yourself an epic. That is 4 amazing champions that you can get just by downloading using my link. That's it for today's video. As I said, hopefully I'm able to get that crystal so I'm able to pull it. We'll see. Be sure that you guys subscribe so you don't miss out in case I do end up pulling. Comment down below and let me know which is one of the champs that you are eyeing in there. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!